I want to start with the first title fight on the card. Um, Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. And I'm so happy this fight got made. I'm so happy Jessica has moved up to strawweight because this is what the kind of fight the division needs. Valentina Shevchenko has been so effortlessly dominant against a string of challengers who were challengers only in name, who just didn't have the technique, the skills, the power, the anything to give you a moment of doubt about what was going to happen. And all her title defenses thus far have borne that out. But in Jessica Andrade, we have something different. We have a title challenger who can actually pose a threat to Shevchenko, if in no other way than her power. And we got to see that on display in her flyweight debut, where she took Chukagin out in one round with a vicious body shot, two vicious body shots, really, with 10 seconds left in the round. Shevchenko is still going to have a big technical skill advantage in the striking, probably in the judo throws, the clinch, if she gets on top in the grappling as well. So it's not some sort of super fight where you have two technically even fighters, but Andrade has power, and she has landed that consistently and continually throughout her career against a different swath of opponents, some of whom have been pretty good. And the Chukagin one is really impressive because Chukagin is a very defensive striking fighter. You didn't see Shevchenko land anything as damaging on the feet over the 3 rounds they went, as Andrade landed in that one round. The other thing about Andrade is she just doesn't give up. She always moves forward, and her athleticism, her power, her tenaciousness just helps her out a lot of the time. You saw that best on display in the 2 fights she had against Rose Namajunas. In the first fight, in the first round, Rose put an absolute clinic on her on the feet in the striking, just out distancing her, out moving her, timing her with the jab every time. But Andrade didn't get discouraged. She kept walking forward. She went for that body slam and got a knockout via it. And in their second fight, you saw more the same, where early Rose had the advantage, but Andrade didn't get dissuaded, kept going. And it's hard to believe Rose won that fight if you just look at their faces at the end of it, because Rose was bleeding. Her eye had a huge welt on it and swelling, and all of that damage happened in the third round, which speaks to the durability, the longevity, and the power that Andrade has. And that's really a test that we haven't seen Shevchenko face yet. I mean, her best opponent at flyweight for sure has been Joanna Jędrzejczyk, but Joanna's not known as a power puncher. So even though that fight was really interesting and technical and a bigger challenge than anything else Valentina's faced at flyweight, once we were 2 rounds into that fight and we saw Valentina controlling it, there wasn't really any suspense or doubt about how the rest of the fight was going to go. Whereas with this one, there is. Even if Valentina wins the first 2 rounds, technically touching Andrade, getting the better of her on the timing with the jabs and straights and maybe some judo trips and top control, the third round, the fourth round, the fifth round, unless we see like a visibly fatigued and worn down Andrade from some kind of beating Valentina's put on her, then I'm still going to be holding my breath as they go to meet in the middle again, because Andrade is just going to keep going forward. And that also gives Valentina a great opportunity to put all of her skill on display, because she's such a technically smart striker. She doesn't initiate or take a ton of charge forward risks. She wants to set up the KO very tactically, one piece at a time, and kind of needs the right dance partner to show what she can do. And you saw that best in the Jessica Eye knockout she had, where Jessica kept walking forward. Valentina lands the body kick, lands the body kick, lands the body kick, and then goes high. But every time to land that, she needed Eye to be moving forward. And I think Andrade is going to do that. I think Andrade is probably going to show that same head movement she showed in the second Rose fight, and a little less, but still in the Chukagin fight, which works pretty well, like at first at least, against like straight trajectory shots with which Shevchenko tends to throw. I don't think I've ever seen Andrade throw anything straight. It's all got loop on it, whether they're hooks, uppercuts, head, body. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to a fight where there's a not zero chance Valentina Shevchenko could get knocked out, where I'm almost certain her opponent's going to walk her down and give Shevchenko the chance to land and land often and hopefully land hard. And yeah, it's more excitement than the women's flyweight division I think has seen in a title fight yet. So hopefully it lives up to that, and hopefully it sets the stage and moves the division forward. And we start to see more contenders like Andrade piling up at the top so as to have more and more of these fights.